supporters in my corner from day one, never wavered. You know, for everyone that thought I was a liability to the playoffs, you can kiss my
to the point of time. Dancing in the moonlight.
We're champs. We're bringing it home. We're excited.
We're excited for that cup to come back to Denver to celebrate with the players.
We got the cup. We got the cup. We got the cup.
Bouncing puck and a goal!
I'm just so happy. I can't even speak right now. It's my best day of my life.
Avs faithful, Lord Stanley's Cup is right where it should be, right here in Colorado.
Today, the team arrived back in Denver with Captain Gabe Landeskog hoisting the cup over his head. So glad you're with us on Denver 7 News at 5. I'm Shannon Ogden.
I'm Ann Trujillo. The Avs were all sporting their sunglasses, getting off the plane after a late night celebrating the team's third Stanley Cup win in more than 20 years. The NHL had the bright idea of attaching a camera to champagne bottles that were passed around among the players last night in the locker room. And of course, the contents of those bottles were also sprayed everywhere imaginable.
And Erik Johnson was the lucky Avs player to wake up with the Stanley Cup this morning. His caption, "I woke up and I wasn't dreaming."
That's the best. All right, so let's relive last night's incredible win and start plotting and planning for the parade this Thursday.
Denver 7's Colette Bordelon at the parade headquarters in Civic Center Park. Let's begin our team coverage with our sports director, Lionel Bienvenu.
And Lionel, I think we're all still smiling and savoring the Stanley Cup win.
Well, the Stanley Cup, guys, is the most famous trophy in sports. The first cup was awarded to the Montreal Hockey Club in 1893. 129 years later, it was awarded to the Avalanche last night. So let's show you some of what this cup has endured over the last 20 hours or so. The Avs arrived back in Denver this afternoon, and Captain Gabe Landeskog, as you see here, lifted it again as he came off the plane. The cup back in Hockey Town, where it belongs. Before that, Nick Aube-Kubel dropped the cup on the ice as he came in hot for the picture, and that left a mark, as you can clearly see the dent. As Nazem Kadri lifted the cup on the ice, you see the damage again as the cup was lifted on the tarmac at DIA. Look at that thing. Oof, took a beating. The cup repairman has some work to do. The cup also went through a night of celebration and partying in the dressing room. Landy brought it in the champagne showers, and Nate McKinnon drinking from the cup with some champagne or beer or both, or who knows. Then the cup apparently, as you saw, spent the night with Erik Johnson. And Joe Sakic, he lifted the cup as captain of the Avs in 1996, the first year the team was in Denver. Then in 2001, Captain Joe, he did it again. This time he handed it to Ray Bourque in one of the most iconic moments in Cup history. And then last night, 21 years later, Joe lifted the cup a third time. As president and general manager, the man who built this team into a champion.
We're excited for the entire fan base in Colorado. They've been waiting for this for a long time, and it's coming home, which is it's an amazing feeling. And this group, all year, they battled, they competed, they stuck together, and had this one goal in mind. And it's just a tremendous group of players.
And that's me with the cup 21 years ago after the Avs won it in 01. And there's Nick Rothschild right there with the cup after the Avs won it last night. Who wore it better? Well, it's obviously Nick. No contest. He lifted and kissed the cup in Tampa. And the best part, during the offseason, every player and coach gets to spend one day with the cup doing whatever they want. So we'll keep track of that as well.
Even if they dent it. All right. Thank you, Lionel.
Yeah, thanks, Lionel. Now, back here in Denver, wild parties downtown. Police kept the peace, though. Some road closures lasting late into the night, and only one arrest, a 20-year-old male detained for setting off fireworks.
And this morning, fans were up bright and early to get Avs championship gear. By the time our crew got to the shop at Ball Arena around 10, there was already a sign on the door saying they were sold out of hats. Man, that wasn't an issue. Fans just bought everything else.
I got a puck, a sign, what else? A couple necklaces. I was hoping to buy a jersey, but they're all out.
I got a puck, a stick, and they didn't have my size in shirts, but I got one for my husband. And to see the economy just come to life in downtown Denver, everybody's shopping and eating and drinking and feeling happy, it's great.
I like the feeling happy part. And over at Dick's Sporting Goods, they were ready for the crowds. They had a table loaded up with Avs championship shirts.
And all that gear is going to come in handy for the championship parade Thursday through downtown Denver. It begins at 10 o'clock and it ends in Civic Center Park. And that is where we find Denver 7's Colette Bordelon.
And Colette, safe to say that plenty of Coloradans will be calling out of work on Thursday.
You guys will see me at work on Thursday. I promise you that, because my job gets to put me right in the middle of all of this action that's coming to Denver. The city has been planning this parade for around 3 weeks now. Of course, they didn't want to jinx the Avs, but deep down, let's face it, they always knew we were taking home that Stanley Cup. And they are expecting Civic Center Park and the route where that parade is going to be just absolutely packed with people. So they have a couple of things they want you to know before Thursday.
Out and about in downtown Denver.
Thank you so much for stopping.
The city is buzzing.
Saturday was so busy. There were a ton of people out for the Avs game, and then Pride was downtown, so.
It was the perfect weekend for Tea with Tay to officially open in the 16th Street Mall.
So I'm adding in our matcha powder, which is stone ground. And then we just whisk it in a little bit of water.
The locally owned shop is a pop-up. The city hopes becomes a permanent tenant.
One of a kind, especially in downtown Denver.
And Tay is prepping for an even busier day this week.
We're expecting literally hundreds of thousands of Avs fans to descend upon downtown and celebrate on Thursday.
That's when the parade celebrating the Stanley Cup coming home to Colorado will go from Union Station down 17th to Broadway, ending at Civic Center Park, where a rally will be happening.
For the morale of the city, the people that live here, as well as the businesses, I think it's going to be a fantastic thing for us.
Police are ready with flexible plans to keep everyone safe on the big day.
For outdoor events like this that aren't ticketed, we do not have a specific capacity or limiting process.
Chief Paul Pazin says the department has had a long couple of weeks, but they're ready to play a part in the parade.
We're all tired, but we're excited. We're happy. We're just as big of Avs fans as everybody else in Denver and the state of Colorado.
And back on 16th Street Mall.
It's just a moment you can share with your friends or your family.
Each cup of tea sold is another chance for the city to come together.
It's helping bring people back downtown, especially having such a huge win in the sports community. It just helps build the whole downtown community.
And the Avs are giving this new business foot traffic that could be the start they need to stay.
Now, like I said, the city, they're trying to tell people to get here at 7 in the morning on Thursday. I know that sounds early, but the rally starts here at Civic Center Park at 9, the parade at 10, so they're saying 7 just to make sure you get a spot that you would want. And they're thinking it's going to be absolutely packed, shoulder to shoulder with people. So they're saying to just bring what you need. In their minds, that's really just water, no big bags or chairs. Live from Civic Center Park. Colette Bordelon, Denver 7.
Yeah, it should be a big event. All right, Colette, thank you. And Denver 7 will be your home for the Stanley Cup Parade. We are partnering with Altitude Sports, and we'll have a full team covering all the fun. And you can see it live on air and on thedenverchannel.com. And our pre-parade coverage starts bright and early at 4:30 a.m. And before we get to more Avs Mania on Thursday, tomorrow is the primary election here.
And state election officials once again are doing what they can to combat misinformation and reassure voters that the elections are secure. However, there have been some errors on the ballots this time around.
Denver 7 politics reporter Megan Lopez explains what's going on.
It's that time of the year again, the time to cast your ballot and watch out for all the campaign commercials. This commercial, though...
Hi, I'm Democratic Secretary of State Jenna Griswold.
And I'm Wayne Williams, a Republican.
...is a little different. It's not for a candidate, but a cause.
Colorado's elections are safe and secure.
To reassure voters that they can trust Colorado's elections despite misinformation. But it comes at a time a few counties deal with some ballot issues, starting in Denver.
We had a voter contact us and say, hey, something looks a little odd with my ballot.
Clerk Paul Lopez and his staff found 60 ballots had been printed with the wrong race. 60 out of 515,000. Instead of featuring House District 8, they had House District 3. So how did this happen? One word, redistricting.
When that redistricting happens, we literally, physically, a human being has to go in and identify all those registered voters throughout the city.
And the data for 3 blocks on Marion Street was put in incorrectly.
It is a data mistake. It is a human error, but it is not fraud.
Former Republican Secretary of State Wayne Williams says the delayed census data is mainly to blame.
They were more rushed. And when you are rushed, There are errors that are sometimes made.
Those races are uncontested. Denver hand-delivered new ballots to those voters. That's different than what happened in Pueblo, where 7 formal complaints were filed over mistakes on the ballot, affecting at least 1,600 voters. One House race was wrong and a county commissioner race was omitted, so Secretary of State Jenna Griswold assigned an election observer to the county.
How it works in practice is that supervisor works closely with the county clerk and with their staff to make sure the election takes place.
Elbert County will also have an election overseer as an investigation into Clerk Dallas Schroeder and a potential election security breach continues. But the clerks in both those counties will be involved. In Mesa County, meanwhile, Clerk Tina Peters will not be allowed to oversee the election because of the alleged security breach resulting in felony charges against her. Williams will help in that county.
Because you've got a judicial finding that the clerk in Mesa County had broken the law and had lied. When you've got that type of situation, then it's a wholesale replacement of the designated election official.
But again, he says all these actions by the Secretary of State's office should prove to voters
Colorado's elections are safe and secure.
and that the state is taking this primary and any potential mistakes seriously. Megan Lopez, Denver 7.
If you have not voted yet, it is too late to mail your ballot, so you have to drop it off in person or vote in person before 7 tomorrow night.
Man, we hit a truck.
An Amtrak train that passed through Colorado flips on its side after colliding with a dump truck. And 2 Colorado lawmakers push for new protections for abortion clinic workers in our state.
We definitely would welcome anything that would help protect abortion providers, continue to provide safe care to all of our patients.
Sunshine put us back in the 80s today. We have 90s coming up in the 7-day.
Plus, remembering a Broncos legend and the first black quarterback of the American Football League.
Marlin displayed the ability to roll out and scramble. He brought additional excitement to the Bronco attack.